Final Fantasy is not a real game. What? No, it's a real game. Final Fantasy XVI doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy. Breath of the Wild doesn't feel like a Zelda. Pokemon Legends Arceus doesn't feel like a Pokemon game. And other trash takes that you will hear on Twitter. This was a post that I saw, and probably one of the most trash takes I have seen in my life when I was doom scrolling Twitter. Now, why was I doing that? I don't know. I guess this is just the reality that I live in now. But these takes suck. And they don't suck because what the person was quoting was a bad take, because I will say that the first two are actually not terrible takes. The third one obviously is a terrible take and doesn't even fit with the other two. It's kind of like if you talked about apples and then you threw out an orange statement in there, right? Doesn't make any damn sense, okay? Let's just address that first. So, Pokemon Legends Arceus doesn't feel like a Pokemon game is not a valid take, all right? Anyone who feels like that is just dumb. It's a spin-off. It's not part of the main line. It shouldn't feel like a Pokemon game in many, many ways. At least it shouldn't feel like a mainline game. When games do spin-offs, it is totally, absolutely okay that they don't feel like a mainline game. I don't think I'm going out and stepping on a crazy limb on this one here, but that's just where we're at. People on the internet think that people can't have these kind of takes, that somehow they're invalidated for whatever freaking reason. It's a spin-off. It's different. That's okay. That's what it is, all right? Some people are going to like it. Some people are not. Now, when it comes to valid takes, though, the first two are not invalidated, all right? So I haven't played Final Fantasy XVI myself, but I've seen a ton of gameplay. I got a bunch of friends that are playing it. I don't own a PS5, okay? I'm waiting for a PC release. Go shoot me. But this is the thing, is that it is intrinsically different than anything that we've had before in a Final Fantasy game outside of, like, the MMOs and stuff. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying that if someone has played Final Fantasy their entire life and they play 16, it's a mainline game. It's going to be uncomfortable to many people, and some people aren't going to like it, right? They like turn-based RPGs, and that's not what this game is, which is totally fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. The fact that there's people on the internet so angry that people would just dare not like something, it's insane. It's just the dumbest take in the whole world. You play something, it has intrinsic features throughout, an intrinsic feature gets removed, people are going to be upset about it. That's the reality of it, and it's totally okay to be like that, all right? It doesn't make you not like the game any less. If you love the game and you love the changes and you think that it's refreshing and it's what this series needed, then that is awesome, all right? Just enjoy your game, but don't get bent out of shape that other people don't like it. And that segues directly into Breath of the Wild. So I'm going to talk from very personal experience. I have played Zelda my entire life. I have 2 tattoos. The first tattoo I ever got in my entire life was Legend of Zelda. I've been obsessed with it since I was a small, small child. I have wildly vivid memories of me growing up as a kid and playing these games in all these different scenarios. I have a deep, deep love for it, okay? Breath of the Wild came out. I don't like it. It does not feel like a Zelda game to me. What I picked up as enjoying about Zelda is completely gone, and it is devoid in the Breath of the Wild games. And that's not because I didn't play it. I played it, okay? I bought it when it very first came out on the Wii U. I could go rip my copy out right now and show it to you guys, but I have the freaking copy. I played it. I played it not once. I played it not twice. I played it 3 frickin' times. And the reason why is because people will not get off my case about how dare I not like it and how dare I not feel like it's not a Zelda game. It's totally okay to feel like that. And this should not be a hot take at all. And to many of you watching, maybe it isn't a hot take, but I'm telling you right now, there's people all over the freaking internet, even on Twitter and shit, making these big deals about these games and people saying that they don't feel like the game series. It's totally okay, all right? Developers need to innovate. They need to try new things. They need to get wider audiences. And the reason why is because game development costs are soaring. They're so much higher than they ever were. We used to get 15 people in a basement somewhere making a game and selling it. And that's just not where we're at anymore. We are totally, utterly beyond that. Game companies are going to make these decisions. And so here's where I kind of lie with this. And that is that life itself is all about changes, okay? I had this story that I told Bree last night. When I was a small kid, my dad used to cut these pieces of wood up and he would make little guns, and we lived out in the woods, and I would run around in the woods and I would fight army men, and I'd run around, I'd jump around. I'd had so much fun. It was like the best time that I ever had in my life. Well, I remember one day very distinctly, time had gone by, I hadn't gone up to my dad's house in a while, and I went out there and I thought to myself, well, what am I going to do? I'm kind of bored today, so I started kind of walking around, and in the pine needles and stuff, I kicked up one of these old guns. And I picked it up, and I was like, all right, here we go. I remember this. I remember how I used to do this. And I went to try and do it, and it wasn't the same. It didn't feel the same anymore. It was like the magic behind it had got lost. I had grown up. I had lost my imagination. Things had kind of tapered down. The world was not being seen like it used to. And so what did I have to do? I had to move on. I had to find something else that I enjoyed. And it sucked. It sucked because I loved doing that. It was really, really fun and amazing, and it was a great time in my life. But I had grown up, things had changed, and now I needed to find something else that was fun. And that's where we are with video games most of the time. And I think a lot of people have a really, really hard time kind of figuring that out. But game series do not owe it to you to remain exactly the same. They don't need to continue doing this stuff. They're not making games for you as a person. Whether you as a person has made and bought all the stuff that they've ever come out with. Shin Megami Tensei is something we've talked on the page before about this. Things change. Things change. Developers have to kind of get new people in. They have to try to cater towards new things that are going on because they need sales. Sales equals money. Money equals the ability to develop more, to develop better games, bigger games, further games, to continue doing what they do. They're just trying to stay fresh, and they're just trying to stay lively. We got to move on at some point from some of our favorite game franchises. We have to let this happen. It's going to happen. But if you're upset about it, you're valid. You are completely 100% valid. And if you're one of those people going on the internet trying to tell people, no, you need to like Breath of the Wild. Oh, no, you need to like Final Fantasy. Just stop. Just stop, okay? Let people like what they like. Let people dislike what they dislike. And you enjoy what you enjoy, okay? That's all I'm trying to get by with this whole point here. This crap all over the internet and Twitter and all the drama surrounding this game and everything is absurd. It's literally absurd. I'm hoping I open up a couple people's eyes to thinking a little bit differently, okay? Just enjoy what you enjoy. Let people enjoy what they enjoy. I'm Dre with Yokuso Otaku. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to Yokuso Otaku for more anime news, reviews, and gaming.